Right here. Here's our next guest. We have
Hello.
Kevin with us here from Fluid Audio.
That would be me, yes.
Yes.
Nice to be here with you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes. No
so
problem.
you guys are fairly new to the world of studio monitors.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what makes Fluid Audio unique or different?
Sure. We founded in 2012.
That is new.
I came from M Audio originally, and that's where I designed most of the studio monitors for M Audio. But I have a history going back to JBL when I was there in 1990 when I was hired basically as a technician. We didn't start shipping till the next year, 13. First in Germany and Europe, and now we've come to the U.S. as well. Strange as a guy from the Valley, shipping in Europe first, but that's where my colleague is from Norway, so that's where we started out in Europe first.
Interesting. Those guys in Norway, they have plenty of room out there to actually hear things.
Norwegians are so into audio. It's
Yes.
ridiculous. It astounds me every time I talk to these guys. They come out and visit me, and I go visit them. Even hi-fi audio, their speakers in their house are ridiculous compared to
It's
here.
because the air is so clear.
Maybe. And great people.
I understand, though, that these are sort of constructed in a unique or unusual way. Can you tell me about how your speakers and how they're different?
Sure. So we started with kind of a low-end budget monitor, the Classic Series, C Series, which is a conventional design, 2A5. And then we decided to do our Fader series, which we call the F series, stands for Fader. The front volume control is a fader. Sort of gimmicky, but it was a good way to get into the market. So a 2A4, 2A5 conventional design. When we decided to do the 8, coming from the previous life I did, 8s are always big, right? Yep. They sit on a console and you can't see what's going on in the room. So I decided to do it smaller, and the only way I could do that is to do a coaxial design, is put the tweeter in the center of the woofer. So people have loved coaxes since 60s and 50s and earlier. Yeah. Tenoi, etc., the Manley monitors. So I thought, I could do a budget version of that. It turned out to be really successful. People love the sound of it. Really, the imaging is great, very articulate. So that's a kind of a different take on a studio monitor that you don't see. There are others that do it, but not the way we do it, with basically taking the tweeter faceplate and bringing it out instead of putting the tweeter in the voice coil in the middle.
I mean, for our audience that may not be so deep into the speaker world, can you explain what's the difference between a recording studio speaker and a speaker you might have on your stereo, or even a speaker that you have on your computer?
Yeah, and that question also speaks to the evolution of where studio monitors started too, right? In the 60s and 70s, there were no powered monitors. It was a passive speaker, like an NS10, a Yamaha NS10, and separate amplifiers, right? And then as it gradually into the 70s and 80s, we started to just put the amplifier in the studio monitor, gave you more flexibility with the inputs you could build onto the back of the amplifier, and the custom voicing you could do. So that's kind of the way studio monitors evolved. But as far as the voicing, I think you're talking about, does it sound different? And usually home stereos are passive, and you have a separate amplifier. So studio monitors have a built-in amplifier. As far as the voicing, it's normally a flatter response, because that's kind of the traditional way for your apartment or whatever. You want it to sound good. You want it to be kind of soft and mellow. But in a studio, you want the speaker to reveal what's going wrong in the recording. So you want it to be as articulate and as revealing as possible. That way you can fix it. And you can fix it, and you say, okay, this sounds wrong. I need to address something in the mix.
So your basic stereo, your home stereo speaker, your computers, you want it to sort of enhance and almost color the sound, but in the studio you want it to be as you want it to represent and be as true as possible.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. A home system, you want everything to sound good, but in the studio, you want to make it good on what you have.
Another question that I had, and I hope this doesn't get too nerdy for our people out there, but so I know in studio, when I've been in the recording studio, sometimes people use headphones to monitor what's coming back. Why would you use a speaker such as your FPX7 studio monitors as opposed to, I don't know, listening to it under a headphone?
You're talking about tracking or mixing?
I'd say mixing.
Okay, yeah, because tracking is a different thing. You're listening to one track at a time, and you want to be isolated, right? And that's the good thing. For monitoring, you want a little bit of what the audience is going to be hearing. Not every person out there after it's released is going to be listening on headphones. They're going to be listening to it on a playback where there's walls and it's reverberant and you hear. So you want to capture that as well in a studio monitor. That's why you have an outboard monitor, near field experience.
Have you had a chance to look around at the show at all?
A little bit, yes, this morning, and
what has your curiosity? When you come to the NAMM show and you're not working, what do you go and look at?
I'm a guitar player and a bass player, so it's always that candy that I'm kind of drawn to from the time I was 18 years old coming to NAMM for the first time. It's always, I got to go by Rickenbacker. I mean, I always have to go by there. I'm drawn. I don't know. But other than that, it's the competitors, obviously, that we're up against. I want to see what they're doing. Yeah. And I wish that in the old days we would have so many cool guys roaming and you'd see. Yesterday I saw Andy Summers and I almost passed out. So you know, there's still this cool vibe about NAMM that you always run into your heroes, and you know, so.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely great, and we have some of those people are going to be stopping by here. We have Jennifer Batten, who played with Jeff Beck and Michael Jackson, is going to be here, and
awesome.
Along with Rex Brown and from Pantera and some other people.
Cool.
Yeah, you know, do you own a Rickenbacker?
I do. Bass, yeah.
Oh, you have the bass.
4001S, the same McCartney model that he used
in
the early days. So I'm a bass player. So.
Oh yeah. Because I have the same thing about Rickenbackers. I've never owned one, but every time I come here, I have to look at them, and I sort of like, it is one of my fantasy guitars that I want to buy and I want to own.
I'm a Beatle freak, so that's, you know, I had a Gretsch, I got a Rickenbacker. You know, it's what you have to do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Kevin.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was great to talk to you.
Yeah, and again, the product that you're showing, the studio monitors, is the
FPX7 is our high-end ribbon, AMT ribbon monitor. We also have going down the FX8, which is the 8-inch coax, F5, F4, and then the lower-end stuff, which is the C5, and the C5 BT, which has Bluetooth built in. It's more of a consumery crossover hybrid play.
Okay.
We're looking at doing some other stuff. I don't know if I want to talk about it right now, but yeah, some stuff for the guitar market actually as a guitar player, and then some stuff like perhaps an interface and stuff to integrate the whole monitor experience.
Okay. Well, thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.